Yeah.
Then
Oh my gosh.
all of the and the Africans come over here and braid
Yeah.
hair.
And the wigs be made out of plastic. It's long plastic strings. I'm like, ain't this about it?
Yeah, but look, it we invented wigs. Our
Yeah.
women invented adornments, right?
Hmm.
And passed that shit around the world. The women always had weave. We trying to act like she's not conscious because she got weave. No,
Yeah.
nigga.
I already
No.
know. I had an afro on my shit. My hair was already too much. I understood. I was like, once I grew my hair out, I understood like the why, like the hairstyles and stuff. Other than it being cultural, but our hair is
Look,
alive,
if
so
you
it's.
study the history of the wig,
Mm.
all of the Egyptian pharaohs, the males and the females, shaved their heads and wore wigs,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you study the history of the cornrow braid, right? All of that was used to be done in order to use the hair to put stuff in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now they got this fairy tale they tell us about how we used to store our food in the girl's hair and braid it up. That's half truth.
Yeah, it always
That's a
is.
half truth. When we migrated to foreign lands, those weren't food. Them was the seeds we was gonna plant when we got to our destination.
That makes sense. That does.
Right. But they want us to think that they have enough food braided up in this girl hair to feed 10 people. And you got to be out your
Yeah,
mother
you gotta
rabbit
have.
ass man. It's only enough room to put the seeds to grow the crops where you gonna be at.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes sense because they were talking about how like wheat and certain things from over here were that were found in Africa were actually from over here.
Yeah. Well, um, the corn, right? Corn is found all over the world now. Corn was created by Quetzalcoatl.
Tahuti, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He because it was originally a type of wheatgrass, and he just used the science of botany to make it produce bigger fruit.
Yeah, that makes sense because I remember when I seen a wheatgrass, I'm like, it looks like grass growing out of rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the uh from the wheatgrasses, we end up making all kinds of. Guess what? What's not ours? We
What?
fucks this shit up on a regular basis. Collard greens, turnips, and mustards.
Mm.
Now, ask me who they belong to, where they come from.
Where
This
they
gonna
come from, Rob?
this is gonna bake your noodle. That's Irish shit.
Oh, okay.
That's Irish shit. That was their contribution to what's now soul food.
Yeah.
They didn't have the same cooking style that our mothers and grandmothers use. And when they brought because we over here we ate dandelion,
Mm.
and
Mm.
it's
I heard
a
the salmon stuff too. It is healthy for you, and
right.
like the bees and stuff.
So the collard greens was not originally brought for human consumption. It was brought to feed livestock.
Mm.
But when we learn how to cook it like we cook our greens, slow, break it down, the fibers of it, and if it don't stink on the third day of sitting up, you didn't cook it right. So they cooked the green down, and because it was never meant for a food stock.
Mm.
But Big Mama loved us so much, she got to figure out how to get the nutrition that this cow would get out of this leaf and get it into my babies.
Mm.
And she created some shit called pot liquor. And she mixed the pot liquor with the cornbread
Mm.
and made what's known as baby food mush.
I wish my grandma was here to.
Look, in the women, we had no baby bottles. That's some new shit.
Yeah.
They smashed the food up like this into little ball pieces and put it in the baby mouth. That's how you fed a baby. If they was if they was old enough to eat food, they was being fed by fingers.
Okay.
right? Women used to go from breastfeeding to mashing food up, right? They gave us some shit called Similac,
Oh yeah.
Infernil,
And they got
right?
worms
But
and shit.
before that, Big Mama would simmer down some stuff called pet milk, mix it with some K-Roll syrup, and your baby gonna be fat like he on steroids.
That's how I was. I was my mom said I was like a big baby. Well, like it kind of explains because I was connecting like the dots with like the Star family and how Avatar connects with us over here, and the Lemurians I think are like the Star family of the Blackfoot Indians, like Mount Shasta. I think that's one of the tribes too. But like the Lemurians were tall. Like I'm 6'3". I want to let y'all know that. Like when I seen Avatar and stuff, it instantly like connected already. Like
So did you see the second one, The Water World?
of course, I watched
Did,
that shit down there religiously.
did you notice? Did you notice my man was kept calling old boy Cuz?
Which one? Which character?
He was the
The
son
son.
of
Yeah.
the. He
He was
kept
talking
calling
to
the other chief's son. He kept calling him Cuz.
yeah, the one that he was always fighting.
Right.
Yeah, that caught my that caught me because it's like cuz and y'all are blue, and so I'm like, is this the cripple?
Yeah.
Is it?
Remember, the Crips is the crabs that come in off the sea,
Mm-hmm.
right? The king crab red is a Crip. The cream, I mean, is a blood, but the king crab blue is a Crip, right? So because of the actions of Big Tookie, it forced the red crabs to assemble.
That makes sense.
Right? It's a master knock. He becomes a two-headed chief.
Okay.
His actions caused the creation of the formation or reformation of a long forgotten tribe, and his tribe at the same time have to wake up together. Right? Right. Now remember, he's a two-headed chief. He have to figure out how to stop them from killing each other. That's his only job in this lifetime, is to try to figure out how to get peace between these two ancient tribes that he know if you wake them up at the same time, and the only reason you would wake them up at the same time because we at war.
Mm-hmm.
But when we at that kind of war, when you wake them up at the same time, they're going to attack each other first.
Yeah.
Right? Tookie, as a child, didn't consciously know this. Subconsciously, he's assessing the terrain as a developing chief.
Yeah.
And he's looking at who's pulling the power plays across the land, right? And this is how he have to look at it growing up.
Mm-hmm.
He has to wake up both tribes. The one is the tree walkers, the treetop tribes. Mm-hmm. This is where you get your Pyru.
Yeah, treetop bloods and stuff. Yeah.
Right, but specifically, we go to Pyru because Pyru is Crips spelled backward with the C on its side.
Yeah, yeah, I heard of, yeah.
Okay, now, this is the mirror tribes. Mm-hmm. They're going to automatically fight until Tookie figure out how to get friends between set leaders to be able to draw a truce, and it could take a few years, right? And in the process of trying to organize this, Tookie gets snatched off the street and framed for a murder that the government committed. Right? The same, put his case and Geronimo Pratt case side by side. We know from the work of Johnny Cochran that Geronimo Pratt victims was killed by police officers who were sheriffs specifically, but we call them law enforcement, but they were sheriffs. The sheriffs is the same ones who killed these people they accused Tookie of killing. Now, Tookie had a friend. He'll tell you who he is, or if you read Black Rage Blue Redemption or Blue Rage Black Redemption, he gonna tell you in there he was smoking Sherm that night. Right? And the reason he's the man that he with feeding him the sherm so he can't have any recall. But the sherm is laced with LSD. So now he's getting a double dose of a hallucinogenic mind control drug that MK Ultra already know how to use in this formula. Right? Now, they don't have no tangible evidence. It's almost the same crime scene as Geronimo Pratt when you're looking at the picture.
And is he a Sao? Was Geronimo a Sao in the Sao tribe?
I know he came from Mississippi.
Okay.
And I know he inherited the responsibilities of Geronimo in the history books. Right. Just like Tupac inherited the responsibility of Amaru, Biggie inherited the responsibility of Sitting Bull.
Now that makes sense. Because Sitting Bull does sound like that would be a name that he would. It looks like that would be his name.
Go back and pull up Biggie sitting. From the time he was little, he's taking pictures in chairs, sitting down.
Right.
His last interview is when he said, I had to take my power and flip it. Sitting down at the Rucker Park where Tupac did Above the Rim at.
Yeah.
Dude, we ain't looking at what they telling us. We being entertained right now.
Yeah, and we don't see how certain things connect, or like we look at things on like a surface level. Like, not to be off subject, but Menace to Society, they were saying that Kane, these other people were actually different parts of himself. What's his name? The dude that I can't think of his name because I'm such in the moment right now. But his friend that he was with,
Menace to Society, come on, old dog.
Yeah, they were saying that he wasn't a real person. Like, for example, like
I know what you're saying. He was like he had two personalities that lived together as two people, but that's just the story in the movie when it was really one person.
Yeah, like when he walked in to talk to his grandpa, like they both said what's up to him, but the grandpa only acknowledged Kane. And like Fighters Club, Tyler Durden is the dude's alter ego, the dude that he would want to be, like the badass, the dude he would aspire to be, but he's working an office job.
Okay, so let's go over why these codes for Hollywood now, because we're going into Hollywood codes off the LA. These Hollywood codes is telling you they acting in Hollywood is the principle that's based off overcoming the ego. Once you overcome the ego, you can become anybody you want to be, as long as you tell yourself, I'm going to be this person. Right? They call it getting in character. Right? Now, you got method acting and you got theatrical acting. The thing about method acting is you get so into character, sometimes you get stuck in character and can't break free. Yeah,
like Heath Ledger, and you channel your energies and stuff. Yeah,
right. Because you bringing the character to life and you charging it with your life force matrix to be an entirely different persona than yourself. It's an egregore.
Go away because you invite the personality or the entity in, so you become like an empty vessel for it to jump in. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. So when you come into the physical life in the beginning, you still have to pick who you're gonna be. Now, in the process, the people around you are gonna start writing the script for you by their perception of how they think you should be. This script, they're gonna be feeding it back to you. And the parts of the script you accept builds what we call an ego, or artificial personality construct. Right? So by the time we get a certain age, they know if we're going to accept or reject the ego script, or if we're going to go out and use free will. Because if you take the ego script, that's what you call a predestined path.
Okay. Is it because the script is already written and you just follow it, right?
Right, but you have no control.
Okay, yeah, because you put
so all of the good or the bad that come with the script character you become to play in your lifetime becomes your pain and suffering or your joys.
Okay.
Right now, the end run or the alternative is to live your life deliberately, intentionally, right? Because fuck what they think about you. if you be selfish enough to achieve a goal that'll put you in the position to be as generous as you would like.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Like you have to take initiative instead, because if you let something control you, gave up your free will to let this entity come in, and now whatever happens is it's your fault because you allowed it to take over. That makes sense.
Right. So when you stuck in ego, you stuck in the character that the people who you had believed in told you you was, but that's not who you really are.
Right.
But since you believe them, they gonna turn into the agents in the matrix. Because every time you start to break character,
They gonna
they
come
gonna
back.
tell you why.
Yeah.
They gonna tell you why that plan ain't gonna work. They gonna tell you why your music ain't good as the next guy music. Or
I know
they
that.
gonna tell you that your music is too eccentric and people wouldn't gravitate toward this type of music because they've never heard nothing like it before.
That's what Empire said to me.
The irony of that is everybody that's true music lovers are always looking for an alternative style of music to show a different aspect of creativity.
And that's the type of music I make. Alternative music. Yeah.
So when you look at it, when you start making your music, people who want to hear and get a different feel from a vibrational frequency, you'll say, "Hey, come check my man out. This is the vibe we looking for." And this is how whole new genres of music is created. But they always created primarily by one
Yeah.
individual.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling people. Like, I'm like, why are we trying to limit ourselves if we're literally the face of everything? Like, I've been told people like Beethoven, all these people, like we already know that they whitewash a lot of characters and stuff. We already know. And so I've been told people that like a while ago that like Beethoven was black, like he was one of us. Like
He wasn't one of us. He was a Tawny Moore, but he wasn't one of
yeah,
us. He was
well,
one
his
of them.
mom,
He was one of them.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I mean, like, well, pretty much what I was trying to say was like, we're the face of everything. Like we've made every genre. I'm like, why are we limiting ourselves to just one specific one specific niche? Like it's all
It's
types of other.
okay. So now let's get to that because this goes to. So now we hit your name. Remember I told you he's gonna end up coming back to your name.
Yes.
Okay, because you are Amaru.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go over your name, and then we gonna go into this part of the industry that shuns new music
Yeah.
styles.
Wait. Real quick, I wanted to say how mine is spelled is Emaru, and so my mom's name is Aaron, and my grandma's name is Ernestine. So, and I was looking at the different.
Ernestine was my mama's sister.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking of not to sidetrack, but the significance of E, like Leol, and you know the significance of E. That was something that I paid attention to. But I don't want to throw you
Okay.
off. But
So
yeah.
here's the deeper significance of E. E is an M on the side, the same as the C is the U on the side from Pyru to Crip on the flip. Right?
Mm-mm-mm.
So when you flip the E,